would like to call the school board meeting for Tuesday, May 16th, 2023 for the Des Moines Schools to order. Ms. Rios, please take the roll.
Ms. Alonso Diaz?
Here.
Ms. Bradley?
Here.
Ms. Caldwell Johnson?
Here.
Ms. Knox?
Here.
Ms. Martirana?
Here.
Ms. Norris?
Here.
Ms. Sawyer?
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you. The first item of business on our agenda this evening is approval of the agenda. I would entertain a motion in a second from the board.
Alonso so moved.
Nora
Martirana
second.
We have a motion from Alonso and a second from Norris. Please cast your votes. Ms. Sawyer?
Sawyer, aye. Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Motion passes 7-0. The next item on our agenda is the public forum. We provide speakers at the forum an opportunity to address the board for up to 3 minutes regarding items that are not on the board agenda. We also allow any person the opportunity to speak to the board for up to 5 minutes following the presentation of an agenda item. If anyone wishes to speak during any portion of the business meeting, please email rosa.rios@dmschools.org. The same speaking protocols apply to all individuals who wish to address the board. Speakers will be called individually, and we ask that they state their name and address prior to providing comments. Students and minors do not have to provide their addresses. Guests of the board are encouraged to speak to matters relating to the programs, services, and operations of Des Moines Public Schools. Please remember that Iowa law prohibits us from discussing specific employees or their job performance. We ask all speakers to avoid references to personalities or character attacks, as those types of comments do not contribute to the purpose for which this public forum exists. The use of inappropriate language will not be tolerated, and individuals choosing to do so will be gavelled out of order and asked to excuse themselves from the premises or escorted out. As a reminder to the board and public, the board will not engage in a discussion with the public forum speakers, as it is our obligation to discuss only matters posted in the public agenda for the sake of transparency and opportunity afforded to all community stakeholders. Matters requiring attention will receive appropriate staff and/or board follow-up at a time after the meeting. Thanks for your participation. We appreciate your feedback and input. Ms. Rios, do we have any speakers for the public forum?
Yes, we do. We have one speaker. I'd like to invite Dr. Jessica Gordy to approach the podium. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Gogarty. I'm the Director of Advanced Learning for Des Moines Public Schools. And I wanted to introduce three of these fine fellows. The Consortium for Mathematics and its application has selected 2 teams from the United States to represent us at the International Mathematical Modeling Challenge out of 216 United States teams. So one of those teams is right here.
Wow.
The teams had 120 hours, also known as 5 days, to develop their solution to a single problem. Now, mathematical modeling is not like regular mathematics in that you're not trying to come up with the answer, but you're trying to model using mathematics, you're trying to model the best outcome in different scenarios and different contexts. This year, teams were given the task to propose the, quote, best use of a 3 square mile plot in New York State. They were told about the site, what surrounded it, et cetera, and to reevaluate their solution if a semiconductor plant was built nearby. This team developed a tool for developers to use to compare options. The team proposed a corn farm as the best use of the site based on expected net present value over a 20-year period, job creation in the community, supply and demand for the procedure, and if a semiconductor plant were to move into the plot next door, their model predicted a solar farm would edge out a corn farm by just a bit. Their papers are going to be judged by an international panel of experts in June, and we're very optimistic and hopeful. Let me introduce to you Maverick Lacombe. Alec Fikaloff could not be here tonight. Maximilian Roach, and Ryan Trujillo. I just gave him a little commemoration of a Scholar and Leader Award that we give out at Central Academy for outstanding work. So thank you so much.
Congratulations. Congratulations again. Any other speakers?
No, those are all the speakers we have today.
Thank you. We will now move to the consent agenda. As a reminder to the board and public, the board will not engage in discussion or deliberation with the speaker regarding comments made to agenda items. Discussion and deliberation will remain among board members at the board table, with speakers' comments informing the board's discussion, deliberation, and determinations as deemed necessary. Do we have any speakers for consent items?
No speakers for consent.
Since there are no speakers, I would ask Ms. Martirano to present the consent motion.
I move that the board approve the consent items in accordance with the recommended action for each item on the consent agenda, including bills previously authorized, certified, and approved for payment by the board secretary in the amount of $4,100,853.09.
Is there a second?
Nora, second.
We have a motion from Martirano and a second from Norris. Is there any discussion, or does anyone have any questions on any of the items on the consent agenda? Hearing none, please cast your votes. Sawyer?
Sawyer, yes. Yes, please.
Thank you. Motion passes 7-0. The next item on our agenda is item D1, approval of the superintendent's contract. May I have a motion and a second to accept the superintendent's not the superintendent's recommendation, the board's recommendation?
I can certainly recommend it.
I move that we approve the superintendent contract.
Knox, second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the superintendent's contract. Is there any discussion, or does anyone have any comments? Hearing none, please vote. Sawyer?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously, 7-0, and I have the pleasure of inviting to the front Dr. Ian Roberts to allow us to sign the contract.
Signature's legible.
I know, it does.
So the next item on the agenda is items of privilege. Just in my short comments, I want to let everyone know that we will be having a short presentation from myself and Dr. Roberts, so you're invited to stay to hear a little bit more about his background and certainly to hear why he chose Des Moines Public Schools. I'd also like to, maybe a week late, thank and really, with deep appreciation, share my regards for our nurses and our teachers who had Nurse and Teacher Appreciation Week just last week. And we had it in between board meetings, so I did want to take a moment just to appropriately acknowledge and thank you for all your great work. Any other board comments?
I just want to say a quick shout out to the 25 students who signed with local businesses on Workforce Ready Signing Day at Central Campus. That was great, a great thing to see.
Maria?
Shout out to Latinos in Action who had a great day at Roosevelt.
Dwana? Jenna?
I just wanted to do a shout out to the Lady Polar Bears. We all know that they're superstars on the basketball court after bringing home the district championship. But last night they just brought home the 10th win for the team, which is the most in school history, after defeating Perry in a double overtime and, Maria, help me, a penalty shootout. Is that what it is in the end? Shootout? Something with the shootout. So it was a really great victory, and go North High Polar Bears.
Can I correct myself? I said at Roosevelt. Latinos in Action had a great day at Drake. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Kim? Kelly, anything you'd like to share?
Oh, I would just like to give a big shout out to the East High School staff. I had the opportunity to participate in the East Alumni Golf Outing on Saturday. It did rain a little bit on us, but it turned out to be a great day, and I know that's a great opportunity and fundraiser that the Alumni Association put on. So I was excited to join them.
Thank you. Just two other quick things I'd like to share, and I know a couple of these folks are in the audience, but I would really like to acknowledge and thank Miriam Van Hucklem, who is general counsel at the Allers Law Firm, for working with us to not only negotiate the contract, but to also make sure that we dotted all the i's and crossed all the t's, even until late this afternoon. So thank you, Miriam. We really appreciate your work with us on this. And I would be remiss, and we'll talk about this a little later because he's really not quite done yet. But I just really want to acknowledge and thank Matt for the incredible job that he has done in the last year. I don't know that anyone would have ever imagined or anticipated a cyber attack on top of a really crazy year with the legislature and a variety of other things that just sort of got in our way from time to time. But Matt, you handled it like a champ. And we deeply appreciate the time and attention you've given to this district, to this board, to our students and our staff over the course of the last year. And just know that it did not go unnoticed, and you'll be hearing from the board soon. Thanks. Anything else? Comments from Matt?
I have a lot of comments. Thank you. This district means the world to me, and so thank you for the leadership that you provided. But mostly I want to thank you for the hiring of Dr. Ian Roberts. I got a chance to pick this gentleman up from the airport today and spend the day with him, and I have never been more excited to serve under someone's leadership than I am Dr. Roberts. I am looking forward to what's ahead of us, and I promise you our future is bright under his leadership and under this gentleman. And we've got a lot of work to do as an organization and as a community and as a city. And we have, someone mentioned to me earlier this week that Des Moines is the sleeping giant. That describes us to a T. And the gentleman that's going to lead us into an extremely bright future is sitting here with us tonight, and I promise you we are in really good hands. So thank you, Dr. Roberts, for choosing Des Moines Public Schools. If you come here, you could become a superintendent here.
You stole one of my lines. It's all good. All right. Anything else for the good of the order? Hearing nothing and without objection, we will adjourn. Please join us for a few comments, and then the board does have a work session following our little bit of a celebration. So if you're so inclined, you're welcome to stay and learn more about our board self-evaluation. But otherwise, thank you all for being here tonight. Meeting is adjourned.